Неописуемый рассвет. И друг там на рассвет поплыл. О! Вперед! Догоняем друга. Сегодня 8 марта. Такая красота, а? — 8 марта 24-го года. До сих пор я с отъезда малого никак не могу войти в колею. Вот интересно. Бывает такой сбой, и что с ним делать? Выходить из него. Такие вчера интересные вещи я узнал. Столько нового есть в жизни. А вот даже с этим парнем. Вот сейчас начнется разговор. Американские люди, они разные. А мы с ними разные. Мы другие, они другие. Даже в самые спокойные и мирные времена близость между нами почему-то не возникала такая сильная. Но вот сейчас я буду себя вести крайне корректно. Но вчера, конечно, вещи о здоровье я узнал. Оказывается, здоровье принадлежит нам. Оно нам дается. Право на здоровье нам дано от рождения по рождению. Поскольку мы родились, как любое животное существо, мы имеем право на здоровье. Это право нам дано природой, землей конкретно и родом. Вот как интересно. Природой, семьей, генами нашими. У некоторых его по генам больше, так как даже некоторые маленькие уже болеют. Все остальные системы это здоровье пытаются забрать. Или, по крайней мере, им всем что-то от нас надо. Всем. Даже спорту. What's up, brother? Isn't it? Today is especially beautiful.
Perfect. I haven't been out in months.
I haven't, well, I've been slacking too.
This is phenomenal.
You know what I've been doing a lot?
You told me intercoastal.
Oh, it's something that we, especially people like you and me who paddle,
Right.
it's been undeservedly ignored.
Right.
I was there the day before yesterday. I'm recording. Is that okay?
That's fine. Fine with me.
You're a podcast guru anyway.
Yes, exactly.
I went there the night before last night. I was there at night, like around 7. Even at night, first of all, it's pretty bright because of all the lights.
Right.
It's literally pretty. So bright I could see the time on the clock.
Right.
But man, it was like this, even smoother. And it's just, I was thinking, you know, they say, oh, don't go out at night, like my mom used to say.
Right.
I'm like, if I were to go out, that would be the safest. There's no one there.
Right.
It's empty. But what a beautiful scene.
Yeah. I like the intercoastal because having waves gives you a great workout, but gliding over that glass water
It's annoying.
is so peaceful.
Waves are nice.
Yeah, waves are nice, but
But you know what I don't like about waves is the wind. There's so much
Right.
wind with the look over there. Something's going on in there. Look. Some company.
oh yeah. Huh. Flying fish.
I think I think there was someone else. Look at that, look at that. I think there was someone that they're flying from.
Yeah.
See, like that over there.
Right. Oh. We're not alone.
Nope. You got how this guy goes, you are not alone. But you know, a couple of things now that I'm talking to you, I've been looking into a little bit, now I have to look a little bit more. There's so much going on in the community of paddleboarding around the world. People go on and race, compete, and even like I heard there's a paddleboard community in Jupiter. The races around. How are you inclined or not really?
I am absolutely inclined. You're like this. I've been dating a girl for 5 months. She's about to get her doctorate in physical therapy, DPT.
Wow.
And she's a paddleboard instructor.
No.
Yep. We spent like whole summers doing paddleboard and kayak tours in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. She's got an inflatable. She's ready to come with me and go wherever.
We all gotta. She must have friends to see.
She does, yeah. Her physical therapy friends all have inflatable paddleboards. She got them all together.
This is for me, a lady who does this would be a good match because I do a lot of it myself.
Exactly.
I find it to be a very agreeable activity.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm gonna let you know. How's the podcast going?
Good. Well, it's been paused for a little bit. Work got really crazy for me, and I've been putting out a lot of content for work. So I've started doing these training videos that are, using all my podcast equipment and software, and it's been really helping me at work. But I'm gonna get back to it soon. I want to get back to the podcast. I miss it.
It's you and your friend, huh?
Correct.
You
But
see,
he just had a baby too, so he's like,
yeah.
I might have to do it without him because I can't, different priorities, whatever.
You may follow soon.
Not right away.
This is a thing, man. I have been on this mission of meeting a woman, and more so even, or less so, whatever, is to decipher this beautiful mystery of us meeting each other. Like you're saying, not so soon.
Yep.
But do you see this? And I'm asking this as a more of a technical question, not to be, not to take anything personal.
Sure.
I'm just curious of the mechanics of the psychology. So, do you see a family with this lady, but not so soon?
Not so. I mean, she's 4 years younger. She's 26.
Oh, so she
wants to get out and work for a couple of years.
According to
aligns
this,
perfectly with my timeline. Because work's going really well for me with the dealership, so I'd love a couple more years to really only focus on, mostly focus on that. But after that, yeah.
do you see any, like, let me give you an example, and this is what I talk about a lot, and I meet daily around at least a dozen, sometimes a couple of dozen ladies, so a few men, I'd say maybe 10-20% men, like as we speak right now. And I have many different intentions, one of which is the one that we are discussing. So I have a friend of mine. It's a beautiful, beautiful example. Very dear friend. I know him for 5 years. He's I think 36 right now. No children, never been married. He had a long-term relationship with the lady who was a couple years, I think 3 or 4 years his senior. And they lived several years together. And like a year ago, I think, or so, maybe more, they parted. So now he meets this lady. Hear this. And you tell me how because cultures are different too, because he's from one culture. He's he has a lot of Moldovan, which is Romanian. It's a little, he's Russian, but is that little part of Russia that's a little different.
Right.
It's like a little gypsy.
Right.
And they're out there somewhere. Also, he meets this lady now. She's 30. So the difference approximately is what you have with yours. 6 years. She's no children, never been married. And they're in different coasts. So I ask him, do you see any issues? He says, well, not quite, because it looks great. They haven't lived together yet. Начинается.
Go on. So you asked me if there's any differences. They haven't lived together yet.
Yeah, so they haven't lived together yet. But and she's probably, hopefully for him, gonna move here at some point soon. I saw the picture. She has a huge family, Armenian, very very beautiful families. I think 5 or 6 sisters and no brothers. And it's like a dynasty almost. The father is like a mother, you know, very traditional Christian Armenian family.
Sure.
So I tell him, let me talk to her, because he and I are pretty close. He goes, well, with time. and I understand.
Right.
Because I may be a little radical in the way do I seem to you that way?
A little. You have very strong opinions that aren't mainstream, but I appreciate you for it. I don't think, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You have very strong convictions, and you have
my opinions. Most of them are not mainstream because they're sad,
yeah,
and they're realistic.
Well, that's the thing that the older I've gotten, the less I desire to be mainstream. You know, like to what most people do and how most people live their lives is shit, in my opinion.
And sometimes inadvertently, like a lady told me once in my emergency, she goes, "You are here purposefully inefficient." I'm like, whoa, that's a pretty deep statement. I remember, purposefully inefficient, and she looked like a disheveled homeless. I'm like, whoa,
right.
You don't sound like you look.
Right.
You have a point. Because yeah. So the thing what I'm trying to decipher is, and by the way, this is pretty ubiquitous. I see this as a pretty uniform statement or uniform state of affairs, where men and women are, look at how beautiful, so clean, are quite hesitant, to put it mildly, to introduce me or for that matter many people to many people. Back in the day, I remember when we were kids, I'd bring my friends home. I'm pretty sure you did quite a similar thing. And Ma say, "Hey, Ma, it's my friends. I met these people. I met these kids outside, and they're from the building across the street. Right. Now we're gonna play. Now, you got some food?" And the mom would say, "Yeah, sit down. All of you look hungry." And we'd be like hanging out.
Yep. And
it would give my parents also a look at who I'm hanging out with.
Right.
And I would just do this naturally. This wasn't like no one specifically told me.
Told you to, right?
It's just, I mean, yeah, we play outside, we come home, we watch a movie, we do some other things, we hang out. Now, it's not quite the same.
Not at all.
So, how do you see any particular potential challenges in yours? And again, if it's something that you don't feel that, because a lot of times people don't feel like discussing. And plus, I'm recording, so it's a lot of. I can turn it off if you'd like.
No, I'm fine. Don't worry about the recording.
I'm conscious of. I appreciate. It's not even. I mean, this is not. I don't do this. I'd have the same conversation whether I was recording or not.
Right, I know you would.
I'm curious as to how this works, and it's cross-culturally. It's a bit different, but still, this modern world has done a lot of, and social media did a lot, and now everyone is quite private.
Yes.
So, for example,
Well, except for the few though, I feel like more people are private, but then other people you're broadcasting every second of their existence.
but they're broadcasting, like me, for example.
Right.
They're broadcasting. Again, see, that's not natural either. But most people broadcast some artificial stuff.
Right.
I at least, for my defense, I broadcast everything, not just shit, but I broadcast the fact that I don't see my children for 5 years.
Right.
I broadcast that
Right.
because people, surprisingly, are pretty nonchalant when they hear it, pretty numb when I tell them, hey, this is what's going on. People say, whoa, why is that happening? People who don't know why it's happening say,
Right.
why is that happening? Or somebody say, oh, it's your fault. But that's an interesting stance.
That's
On
a crazy way to cast judgment before.
it's your fault. So well, it's part of it is your fault. You can, especially they hate when I say I'll never see them again. Oh, people hate when I say that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, say no, don't say that. I said,
Yeah.
well, that's exactly why I say that, because there's a huge chance. In fact, it's a what's the word? It's not defined. It's a path which will continue the way it is now unless nothing seems to change. But that's a whole different subject. But I'm curious as to, do you see any particular challenge that may, for example, this is not your first relationship,
No.
clearly.
It is hers, not mine though.
26, she's never had a serious
Never
relationship.
had a serious relationship.
That's a beautiful subject of discussion. 26 years old. I meet people 30, even 35. Never lived. I say, did you? She goes, yeah, I had many. I said, did you ever live with someone?
Right.
At 35, nah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to bring him home right away. I say, you say right away,
You're
ever?
in a serious relationship, yeah.
This is unless you live with someone.
Right.
There's nothing. You don't know nothing. And then they tell me, oh, we had this beautiful relationship for 2 years, and then I found out he was married. I'm like, well, yeah, because guess what?
That's why he didn't come home with
That's
you.
why he wasn't living with you, because he had another wife, and he was coming home to her.
Yeah.
Well, how are you supposed to know? Live with him.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my women. Come live with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a kid. Bring the kid.
Yep.
Oh, I'm with my mom. Bring your mom.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Because what's the point of we gonna date? Dating is when we were 13.
Yes, exactly.
So do you see any particular challenge?
No, that's a very good question. I don't see any
What?
near-term challenges. We are very compatible on a lot of fronts. She, unlike most women I've dated in Miami, she doesn't care about flashy standards. She's very down to earth.
See, those are huge.
But she appreciates like me working hard and providing and
There's
all
nothing
that.
wrong with a Bentley. If you're Elon Musk and you can,
I asked her out in my Lamborghini. That's where I asked her out.
huh?
I asked her out in my Lamborghini.
You got Lamborghini.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So you see, that's a challenge.
But for her, she liked it and she enjoyed it, but it didn't affect her opinion of me.
Oh, sure it did.
Well,
It didn't look like it
It
did.
didn't affect her opinion of me in a bad way. Right after I got the Lamborghini, I usually didn't take it on first dates. I was like, I don't want to set that precedent.
What's the model?
Gallardo, 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, black with the.
That's
black.
the top.
That's one below the top. It's like their
Murcielago is
Murcielago's above.
Murcielago is above. There's one that's a little bit less,
Right.
also, right?
But still, it's been a phenomenal. I'm actually in the process of selling it right now. I've had it for 2 years. I love it. But
That's
one girl, I took her. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Lamborghini on the first date. Like, this is why I bought it. You know, maybe it helps me get laid. So we pick out a place.
Oh, it may.
Well, it did, but we pick out a place to go eat. The second her ass hits the seat of the Lamborghini, she's like, oh, why don't we go to the Faina instead? And I ended up spending $350 on dinner. I was like,
You see that? You see? That's exactly
I was like,
what
I deserve this. That's.
You know my dating technique, and it has not failed me. It's been, as you can see, it's been 100% accurate in filtering all the foreign material. Let's put it this way, not to cast judgment. Foreign material, foreign bodies, as they say. In medicine, we have a foreign body removal procedure, because foreign bodies create a lot of inflammation and splinters and shit. We don't need that. So what I tell them automatically, I say, well, dinner, I tell them like this, dinner is at 8 or 9. If 8 is too late, we can do it at 9. They go, where? When? Tonight? I say, well, yeah, tonight. And tomorrow too, if you'd like. I mean, it's every night. Tonight and every night. Where? So obviously, our place. You're gonna help me cook. I hardly know you, so that's how you're gonna know me. So then I scale it down and I say, see, there's a little Itaro right there. We go there for a drink. If there's good, if I feel safe with you, if I feel you're not gonna handcuff me.
Itaru is one of my top date places.
See, it's convenient.
Terraza's too. It's like, oh look, hey, I happen to live right there.
Oh, Terraza is the
Hyde, the one right above it.
See, I've never been there. I never been there as a date.
Got it. I don't know if you like burgers, but they have potentially the best burger I've ever had in my life.
7th floor. I've been there a lot, but a while ago. I stopped going. There's a beautiful scenery.
It's a good place. I like it a lot.
Wow, I should frequent that more.
You should.
So you see, and these women, and some of them come, and some of them, I tell them, you move in, or bring a suitcase, move in.
Right.
And at least, I tell you, financially, I don't feel like, oh, I'd go to the restaurant. See, if you want to go to the restaurant, you pay. I used to be shy to say that.
Yep.
Have you ever tried to say that to them when you pay? If you'd like to take me out, go ahead. Oh, I don't pay. I don't pay for men.
I've never had the balls to do that.
You gotta try that. You see, because again, a strong woman will appreciate it, because it's not so much financial. I tell them this.
Sign of strength.
Yeah, signs of worthiness. A lady, according to a lot of psychology of dating, a lady who invests in her man she'll have a vested interest. She'll be invested. Women say, well, why don't you invest in me? And I tell them, I am already invested in your egg. I want your eggs, and I want you already.
I want them scrambled.
I desire you from the get-go. I am as invested as you can imagine. Now what matters is if you invest in me, if you're gonna like me, and for you to like me, I have to be worth your time and money. It's like a bank. If you invest in a bank, you become very interested in the bank. So if, oh, I'm one of the few who take you out and you use me, nah, that's not an investment. But again, I can brag about my filtering ability so far, but it's been a challenge, I tell you. Especially if I showed them dozens of videos of my previous
endeavors.
I was gonna say that word. So, are you planning to move in soon?
So she's doing her last clinical in Fort Lauderdale before she gets the degree, and she's gonna stay with. It'll be a nice trial run. She's gonna stay with me while she does the last clinical. There we go.
It's beautiful.
And then after that, she's gonna take some well-deserved time off. I'm sure, like, you probably didn't go straight from med school to residency.
I actually did, but it was a lot. It was.
She's like, I mean, because when else? She's gonna take a couple months off and travel. Because when else is she gonna be able to do that? I said, I agree.
Oh, she's gonna travel by herself.
with her parents and her sister, and then I'll go with her for something.
I tell you, man, American, and it's, again, she's American, right?
Yes. Actually no. Latvian. She's Latvian. She speaks Latvian. What do you know about Latvia? I don't know much about Latvians, except that it's close to Poland and our food is kind of the same.
Again, it's...
Maybe you know more.
We Russians, we have a saying, I forgot the joke, but I don't even, you know what, it's a pretty dark, again, because us Russians and Latvian women, it's a lot of, I'd say friction.
Okay.
They're very, I mean, stereotypically, the Russians feel Latvian women to be very sexual, and they're like Scandinavian in some way, a little bit close to that. And there's it's an ethnic group that we Russians feel very exotic. And not very. Colombians are more exotic for us.
True.
But they're like, oh, Latvian. She's Lithuanian, but Latvian particularly. There's 3 republics.
Yeah.
Latvia, Lithuania.
Right. So it's a good thing. That's what I'm...
It's, well, but they feel a little, for Russians,
Sure.
there is this tension because of historical battles that we used to have. We used to try to always usurp and control and own that land, Russians.
Got it.
So it was and then Poles, because it has a lot of connections to Poland.
Yep, of course.
And if you look at the history, so it was a kingdom. It was called Polish Latvian Kingdom for many centuries, and it had a lot of, and even now has a lot of tension with Russia because it's under Catholic Church.
Right.
They're Catholic.
Right.
Is she Catholic?
Yes.
Exactly. And I'm Jewish. I'm as culturally Jewish as this ocean. I'm probably as Jewish as the ocean.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. Or maybe a little less, who knows? Is this a Jewish ocean? Jewish sharks?
Kosher ocean.
Kosher? The circumcised sharks. Tell my grandpa. Say, I saw a couple of dolphins that were Jewish. He says, hi, because they were circumcised. Oh, okay. Had the Jewish hats on them. But, so Russia is a Orthodox. And there's a lot of wars because of that.
Right.
Because as you see, the West is trying to pull away Russia piece by piece. Right. So it gets pulled from the West, it gets pulled from the East by Genghis Khan and the likes.
Right.
So Russia, that's why Russia is so paranoid. True. Anybody sneezes, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right.
Don't be sneezing too close to us.
What do you think of Putin?
I feel very sad for him because he feels ripped apart. Because and I'm speaking on a camera, but I'm not judging or casting any positive. I'm speaking historical facts. We used to call 1,000 years ago, if I tell you. That's why. Did you hear the interview? He had an interview with Tucker.
With Tucker.
Have you heard? You should hear it, because it's sombering and it's realistic and it's sad, especially for us Russians. Again, I'm Russian. I'm from Ukraine.
Right.
I was born and raised in Kiev when it was Soviet Union. So to me, I am from Soviet Union.
Right.
Because that's how I left.
Right.
1989. So he was alluding to the fact that we in 862, so now I'm talking not 18, 8. So that's 1,100 some years ago. We were visited, we invited Scandinavian king, or a Scandinavian duke, let's call him this, Rurik. We call him, his last name is Rurik, to govern, because we were so dispersed and many tribes that were all pagan. This was pre-Christian. And we were extremely segregated as many countries war until they got united. So this guy united the north, and the city was Novgorod. New city it's called in Russian, Novgorod, new city. That's an ancient city. Well, it's an ancient city. So he had this northern Russian kingdom, and his couple of compatriots went down and settled in Kiev, and it was a southern kingdom. So then this next guy, Oleg, who was his brother of his wife, because he was a regent, in other words, his son was supposed to be next in command, but he was too young, Igor. So this guy was his uncle. What? Your uncle? What? A close relative. Not because he wasn't a direct uncle. He was a, well, yeah, he was an uncle from the mother's side, brother of his mother. So basically, he united them. This is what I'm trying to get to. He united both kingdoms, north and south, and made it Kiev. We call it Kievskaya Rus, but literally it was Kiev, Russia. And he said Kiev is going to be the capital, mother of all Russian cities. So this is how the country was 1,000 years ago. It was all one. Since then, it went through some perturbations and some mixing up, but basically, ethnically, we are of very not same. They're a little different looking, but very close ethnically. Language is so close. It's like almost like a dialect.
Right.
All Ukrainians understand Russian.
Right.
It's really close. Yeah. Russians don't quite understand Ukrainian, but it's literally like half the words are literally the same.
Yeah.
So, and what Putin was saying, we were both united by this guy Vladimir, who realized we gotta stay one, because
Right.
if we are separated,
We're gonna get fucked. Yeah.
we're gonna get ripped.
Yeah.
We're weak,
Yeah.
like a fist. So he says, this pagan shit is, that's why the paganism never held in the world, because pagan religion, they call polytheistic, there's many gods, everybody believes in their own god. All the Greek cities were quite segregated, so anytime somebody united came, the Persians, the Macedonians, they would just ravage, because they were united.
Right.
Under one god, how we say,
Right. Right.
under God,
Indivisible.
stay united, indivisible.
Indivisible.
In Russian anthem is the same. Pledge allegiance to the flag, and for the United States of America as one nation, under God.
Indivisible. With
See
liberty and
how many words? Because, and that's under God, one God.
Yep.
That's why people say, oh, there's one God. Well, yeah, it's monotheistic religion,
Right.
the Judeo-Christian one. In fact, are you Jewish, by the way?
Nope.
No.
Catholic.
You're Catholic. Well, again, we are on the same God.
Right.
So this guy Vladimir, who was as pagan. In fact, we have a word in Russian and Spanish, pagano, means bad. It actually means bad.
Wow.
In fact, it just means pagan. Well, we made it sound like
Right,
it's like if I tell, oh, pagani, we have a paganka. It's horrible. It's like a bad word. And in Spanish too,
Right.
has double meaning. But bottom line is, he said, listen, he shopped around for a religion. The Romans came, he goes, nah, they want us to be underneath. We're not gonna listen to them.
Right.
Then the Jews came, said these people are nomads. They're all conceited. You think they're all that they're chosen. And then the Muslims presented a good case because they had polygamy, because they were polygamous.
Yeah.
Russians, I mean, the ancient Russians had many wives. He goes, this fits us very well.
Right.
You know the problem with Islam for Russia? You're gonna laugh at this.
What?
Can't drink.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
We don't touch that. We don't touch vodka. We pretend to be monogamous.
How did I not know this? All Muslims don't drink?
No.
I did not fucking know.
No, you can't drink in Islam. No way.
I knew that there were certain. I knew that there were certain sects that didn't. I just didn't realize.
No, it's more strict than
Wow.
the alliances in terms of lovers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a pretty strong one. So yeah, it's a demon. It's an evil spirit. Wines and spirits. So the guy says, you know what? Muslims are great. It's just not gonna stick. They're gonna kill me. So if I take the vodka away, no. I better pretend for us to become monogamous.
Right.
Now we can wing that somehow.
Right.
Please, who are we kidding? We're gonna say we are. But bottom line, he chose Christian orthodoxy because in Istanbul, which was the capital of that, they used to call it the East Roman Empire. The Roman Empire split, and that was the end of that one, because it was one, and then it split into the West, which was Rome, and the East, which was, we used to call it Istanbul or Constantinople. You know, it's a huge city. So those people came, the patriarch decided you're gonna have your own center of orthodoxy, and we're not gonna, in fact, we're gonna team up hopefully against them bitches.
Right.
The Catholics and the Mongols and all those. We gotta stay united. So they attacked each other a little bit, but that's how Russia became Christian orthodoxy.
Nice.
And the year was 988. So everybody, he did it. He himself converted to unite. So now Putin was saying all that. Said, people, this is a ethnic integrity, that if we mess with that, it messes up the geopolitical fabric of the world.
Right.
And it creates an imbalance of unforeseeable proportions, because the balance will shift, just like with Iran and Iraq. When they attacked Iraq,
Yep.
it created a lot of an imbalance, because then Iran became very, very powerful in the region.
Yep.
Yeah, so you cannot, remember the game Risk?
Yep.
You play that game.
Yep.
If one becomes too strong in the area,
It's not good.
we're like, hey, let's go, let's both take care of this, because this is gonna become a problem. If we let them grow. So see, you understand the way it looks. If we step back just a little bit and not become, and it's horrible what's going on, because people are dying. Meanwhile, people are dying.
Right.
But you know, to them upstairs, people have never been probably the least of their concerns. It's an instrument. We are like an instrument. Crazy.
Also, I don't know if you're into meditation and such.
That's.
Do you meditation?
I have been in the last several months. I've been getting into it. It's a freaking.
It's tough.
Oh.
So there's a class here, 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, sound meditation.
Where? In Beach Club?
At the 6th floor, like the fitness rooms.
Oh wow.
It's $10. I went for the first time 2 days ago.
Who's teaching?
It's they're not. They come only to teach this class.
Who are they?
It's a lady who does that.
I hate when ladies teach men. Makes us ladies. But certain skills she may show. What does she just sit and meditate?
So you sit and meditate. You do some like a very little yoga, but then you lay down. You lay down with your head near all of these types of instruments. It's like bowls, and then she'll do like chants and do these sounds, and it completely like dissociates you from your body and makes it very easy to meditate. I felt so.
How long you've been meditating?
I'd say probably 4 or 5 years.
Also, you're.
I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself like a yogi, but I've been.
No, but you're quite an experienced meditator, because it's a skill to get out of that monkey brain that
The other thing, I've been doing this for about 5 years. Sensory deprivation takes.
You also do that?
I do about every week. That's trippy. You think you know yourself, and then you
Oh,
can
no.
sit in a closed place with earplugs and float in a tank of water that's the same temperature as your
How does
body.
that feel?
No sensation. It feels like you're dead. It feels like nothing.
So then, what's the result?
The result is you feel like you just came off a 2-week vacation. When I get out of that pod and back into the world, first of all, it's jarring to go back in the world and look at your phone, but it's
And it's like an hour?
I go for 90 minutes, and I just chant. I count in my head. I count to 1,000. Just breathe in.
Is
breathe
it
out.
scary?
The first few times, yeah. Once you do it, no. The water's not that deep either. It's not like you're gonna drown.
And you float in it, because it's very salty?
It's high salt. Yep. And the water temperature is like 93 degrees, so it's the exact temperature of your skin. So you can't even feel that you're floating. You're just suspended. Tank is closed. There's no light. Complete that black.
And you don't fall asleep?
I have before, but that's usually if I get shit sleep or if I need the sleep.
What makes you, because I would feel, because I'm a pretty, see, when I meditate, and this is what we gotta sit down, man, we gotta do some podcasts.
Yeah, we should.
Because we walk around, even now we walked around some very provocative subjects, and both of us, I have to give it to you and me, because we were both quite elegant in not getting too much into something that's too radically,
Right.
you know, because it's not a we're close.
Yep.
To striking something, even socially. If on my recording it may sound a little too much sometimes, but
Right.
but what I'm saying, when I meditate, and if I lay down even, I fall asleep. I fall asleep even sitting, because I know if I keep my back, thank you, if I keep my back straight, as you know better than anyone, it hopefully prevents me from falling asleep. If I keep my back unsupported,
Right.
that's what keeps me up.
Right. Exactly.
But if I lean, as little as lean, like this guy sitting in that chair, if I do that,
Game over.
I will, yeah, well, most of the time I fall asleep. Which I have great sleep, but I think I am not, my brain is overworked, which probably, oh, listen, this is my friend. This is, well, they said this is real, this is good.